It's Christmas time, as we find ourselves in the middle of a dark New York alley where the city's friendly neighborhood web slinger has just accosted a criminal dressed as Santa Claus. Unknown to us just yet, something about this evil Kris Kringle has taken Spider-Man by surprise.
You?
So, how did we get here? Well, we're going to have to run the clock back to a couple of days before this fateful Yuletide encounter. It's evening, and Spider-Man has found himself freezing atop the Big Apple's cityscape. Still, the wall crawler can't help but praise the good people of New York for getting in the holiday cheer.
New Yorkers might have a reputation for being tough, but this time of year, you can almost feel the peace on earth and goodwill toward men in the air.
Spider-Man gets back to his usual patrol as he swings around the neighborhood. But this just makes him realize he has another problem to contend with right now.
Whoa, the cold and frosty air? These sub-freezing temperatures are starting to gum up my webbing.
The realization that one of his trademark tools is experiencing some technical difficulties prompts the agile superhero to consider adding antifreeze to his web fluid formula. Eventually, Peter takes a short break from swinging around the city atop another one of its buildings. And it's here where his mood takes another unwanted turn.
Look at them go, hustling and bustling about, shopping around, looking for that one perfect present for each person on their list. I've got only one person on my list, the sweetest, most wonderful person in my life, and I would do anything to make her Christmas perfect.
And that person happens to be none other than sweet old Aunt May. In the middle of all this, Spider-Man can't help but reminisce about the holidays he, Aunt May, and his late Uncle Ben had at the Parker household in years past.
Uncle Ben and Aunt May were always so great to me, so very kind and loving. It was a lot for them to take me in after my parents died, and even though we didn't have very much, they always made sure that Christmas was special. He made it special.
Pete remembers a particular year when Uncle Ben showed them how special the holidays were. Back then, Pete received a chemistry set under the Christmas tree, while Uncle Ben gifted Aunt May an angel figurine, something that has since become one of the most important mementos in their lives.
And then Uncle Ben wasn't there anymore. The Christmas angel came out every year, a remembrance of him and his love for us. Aunt May and I tried to make it as special as he always had, but it wasn't the same.
The hits just kept on coming too, because we find out that Aunt May had accidentally knocked over the Christmas angel last year, causing it to break.
She cried so much. It was as if she'd shattered all her memories of Uncle Ben. She was so sad.
In the present, Spider-Man decides to call it quits for now and change back to his civilian alter ego. He then goes home to check the online market space for the same Christmas angel figurine that Uncle Ben had given Aunt May in hopes of finding a replacement. The good news is that he's found one seller nearby who's willing to part with the ornament. The bad news is that it's already going for $100, something that Pete can't afford right now. Moments later, Peter scampers to turn off his monitor for fear of ruining the surprise he has planned for his sweet old aunt when May walks into his room. She tells him that Christmas is going to be rather small this year, since funds are simply too tight. Hearing that, Pete reassures the woman who raised him that everything's going to be fine.
Aunt May, it's fine. We don't need a lot of presents. As long as we're together, it'll be a great Christmas.
Oh, Peter, you're such a sweet boy.
Well, okay, but don't tell my friends.
Pete's mood doesn't change the next day, as he finds himself racking his brain to scrounge up the money he needs for the figurine. Still, his spider senses don't fail him when the resident bully, Flash Thompson, tries to pelt Peter with a snowball. Not long after that, Peter changes back to his wall-crawling alter ego to go on one of his usual patrols. But his heart isn't in it at the moment.
This is bad. I've crisscrossed town 3 times looking for any kind of criminal activity so that I can sell pics to the Bugle. Nothing. And now I feel bad because I'm hoping for something to happen. But for the past few weeks, it's been nothing but quiet nights. Everyone's happy. Everyone's safe.
In fact, even the rest of Earth's mightiest heroes know that the holidays are meant for rest and relaxation. To make matters worse for Spidey, there's the fact that his webs keep literally freezing seconds after he shoots them. So much so that he ends up crashing on the Daily Bugle office's sign before attending the paper's annual holiday party. But Spider-Man just brushes it off and changes into his civilian clothes shortly after that. At the party, Peter tries to go for a Hail Mary to get some much-needed money for Aunt May's Christmas gift.
Well, I was hoping for maybe an assignment. Things have been pretty sparse for me on the freelancing front, and I was hoping...
Sorry, kid. I got nothing for you. It's Christmas time. All people want to see are pictures of kids and Santa, and I've got plenty of both. Now why don't you get out there and enjoy the party? It's almost over anyway. I gave them 15 minutes to celebrate and then back to work.
But, Mr. Jameson...
After that, one of Pete's friends at the Bugle, Betty Brandt, tries to cheer him up and give Peter a Christmas gift. Of course, Pete appreciates the gesture, but he ends up just feeling guilty for being too broke to return the favor to Betty. In the end, Peter bids Betty and the Bugle a good night. But the wall crawler has no plans of going home. In a last-ditch effort to grab pictures of Spider-Man fighting some crime and selling it to the Bugle for some of that much-needed Christmas cash, Pete gets into his tights again and starts one last holiday patrol. He eventually spots a guy dressed as Santa Claus off in the distance running through a crowd of people. So the web slinger rushes into action and subdues the wayward Santa. There's one problem, though.
What are you doing?
Ending your crime sprees, pal. Let's see what you have in heat. Pillows?
For my costume. I'm playing Santa at a retirement home. I was running late.
Oh, I'm sorry. Happy holidays.
You made me miss my train.
Shortly thereafter, Spider-Man succumbs to desperation upon witnessing a man disguised as Santa attempting to scale an apartment window. But just like before, the wall crawler finds out he made another huge mistake.
Okay, buddy, let's...
Santa, Spider-Man.
Bob?
Bob?
I was trying to make Christmas special for my kids. You play along and I won't press charges.
Well, Spidey takes the deal and gives the family a Christmas to remember before getting back to his usual patrol. He's exhausted at this point and just about ready to hang it up for the night when the wall crawler senses a threat nearby.
Really? Really? The Santa burglar? Right here? I guess maybe I was a good little Spidey this year. 'Cause this is the best Christmas present a superhero could ask for.
Spider-Man eventually tracks this bad Santa to the same alleyway where we first saw them at the beginning of this tale. The web slinger accosts the criminal and we finally get some payoff.
Dr. Octopus?
But that's not all, because Spidey knows something's up.
Sorry, Dimitri. I'm on to you. You couldn't be Doc Ock 'cause A, Octavius would have used his arms on me by now, and 2, I sent him to jail last week. You should read the papers more often. So you just have to be the Chameleon.
Fortunately, Spider-Man's frozen webs effectively obstruct the Chameleon's vision, causing him to collide with a wall during his attempt to flee.
And he's knocked himself cold. Another Christmas present. Now maybe if I can rush these photos to the Bugle.
Shortly after, Peter pays the Bugle offices a visit. But his good luck runs out when he discovers that Jonah has left the building, which means he won't be getting paid tonight. Defeated, Pete just decides to call it a night and go home. Inside his room, he realizes that there might just be a way to save Christmas this year.
Wait a minute. Betty was right. A gift doesn't need to be expensive or new. It just needs to come from your heart. And now that I think of it, Aunt May wouldn't want a new Christmas angel. She'd want the old one, the one Uncle Ben gave her.
So, using the same quick freeze webbing that's given him so much trouble tonight, Pete proceeds to fix the old doll. The next day, Aunt May cries tears of joy when Peter presents her with the same figurine all fixed up and looking as good as new. In a delightful holiday surprise, the two discover that J. Jonah Jameson, the proprietor of the Bugle, has sent Peter a check for $250 as a Christmas gift.
Ha! Maybe we won't have to worry so much about the electric bill next month, Aunt May.
And with that, all is right in the world on this fine Christmas morning. That's all for now, guys. We hope you like this video and would love to hear your thoughts about it in the comments section below. Don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more heartwarming content. Feel free to check out the next one as well. We'll see you soon. Take care.